Engagements. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Ashley Kirkwood. I'm super excited to be live with you guys today because this topic was just really dropped into my spirit and I wanted to have it. And I know it's going to be a powerful, powerful, powerful session. And so if you know anyone who is an entrepreneur, speaker, a thought leader, expert, ping them in, right? If they're a corporate hero working in corporate America, but they have dreams of more abundance, more time freedom, more of an ability to impact others, then ping them in because we're going to get into some really good stuff. And I'm hoping if you all have questions, just drop them in the question box if you're on Instagram. Email them to me if you're listening to this on the podcast. And then otherwise, feel free to drop them in the comments on Facebook. And I'll try to get to as many questions as I can after this information and after this content. So if you can see me okay and you can hear me okay, do me a favor and just drop a yes in the comments. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, here we go. Whew, I'm gonna say some stuff this morning. Take my sip of water. Sergio, if you're listening to this, you can edit this part out for the podcast. All right, we're gonna get into it. My name is Ashley Kirkwood. I'm the founder of a company called Speak Your Way to Cash that helps you to land 5- and 6-figure corporate speaking contracts. And then after you build up all these phenomenal assets, you can run on over to my law firm, Mobile General Counsel, and let them protect the IP. So that is essentially who I am and what I do in the two facets of the companies that I run. The names, again, are Speak Your Way to Cash and Mobile General Counsel. But who I am someone who has always loved to speak. Right? I've always loved to speak. And if you're anything like me, then you remember going to auditoriums and looking at the speakers on stage and seeing the TEDx talks and feeling like, okay, that's something that I should be doing. If you're anything like me and you're also a speaker, and let me know if you've had this experience. If this has been you, say me too. You've gone to an event, you see a keynote speaker get on stage and you're like, man, that looks fun, or man, I have something to say to this audience. I wish I were on that stage. How do you do that? But also being realistic, if you've had this thought before, let me know, because I remember thinking like, man, it would be so incredible to get on stages and to speak and to change people's lives and to make impact in their lives. But there is no way that something so cool, so incredible, something so effortless for many of us would be something that I can make a full-time living from. So although I had a passion for speaking and I enjoyed speaking, it was not something that I knew how to make a full-time income. So when I say full-time income, let me be really specific. For me, in my mind, full-time income means $100,000 or more at minimum. And that's just because, like, you know, based on my life, right? So for me, when I'm thinking full-time income, I'm thinking about like what I made in corporate, which was $300,000. So I'm like, how could I replicate that income with just speaking, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't know if it's something that I could do full-time. And I see your question, so I'll be sure to get to that question after we get through some of this content. So that was me. And so I started to just see other speakers, see people doing it. And it looked like they were doing it full time because they were speaking during the day. And for anyone who has a day job, if you ever see someone out during the day, or maybe this is just me, but I would see people out at Whole Foods on a Tuesday on one of my days off. And I would be like, what do they do? You know what I mean? Like, what do they do that gives them enough flexibility and freedom to be kicking it at Whole Foods on 2 p.m. on a Tuesday? And I used to say to myself, I can't wait until I could go to Whole Foods 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. That was like my ultimate goal. Outside of making money, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to grocery shop during the day, do whatever I wanted to do during the day, have time freedom to like live my life and do like just, I didn't want to be constrained to a 9 to 5, or in my case, it was more like a 9 to 9 type of job. So that's who I am. And I originally started to follow this one particular speaker who came to my high school. I don't know how I remembered this guy's name, but he came to my high school and he told me he was a full-time speaker. And I was like, what does that even look like, right? And I went and I think I told my parents and they were like, oh, okay, you met a speaker. That's interesting. You're really good at speaking. But in their mind, it was like, you're really good at speaking. Go and be a lawyer. Go and be a trial lawyer. Go and be a litigator. And to me, I had a very clear roadmap for how to be a trial lawyer. Now, it's not easy, but I knew to be a trial lawyer, I could go to law school And after I go to law school and get good grades, I could get a job that allowed me to do trial work. And as a trial lawyer, I would travel the country and try cases on behalf of billion-dollar companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Allstate, like the big boys, right? And they paid me handsomely to do that. And I was really, really, really good at connecting with jury trials. Like, I'm a great speaker, so I would get up and I would be able to convince the jury that my client was right. And I did some civil rights work, so I wanted to give back to the community. I did all that. But I tell you that story to say, when you don't know the roadmap for how to do what you ultimately want to do, you oftentimes settle for something adjacent. Does that make sense? Like, has anyone been there? Like, I don't really know how to be an actor, but I do know how to be an author, so I'm going to write. Even though the ultimate thing you want maybe to be an actor. Like, I don't really know how to be a speaker, but I do know if I get this job as a trainer at a company, I can speak. So I'm going to just be a trainer at a company. Like, for me, that was law. It was like, all right, I don't know how to make a full-time income as a speaker, but I do know that I would be great as a lawyer. So I'm going to be a lawyer, right? And it's fine. It's not like being a lawyer is great. I enjoy being a lawyer. That's fine. That's okay, right? Put that over here. The point is not the profession that I chose. The point is, if there is something that you feel you need to do, that you want to do, that you are called to do, you need to not stop along your journey until you find out how to do the ultimate thing that you want to do, not the consolation prize. Even if the consolation prize makes you look successful to everybody else, that's a critical piece. That's a critical piece, because for me, when you become an attorney, like you all hear it, lawyer, doctor, engineer, any one of those things, people are going to be like, oh, she's straight. She's doing good. But there was something on the inside of me that wanted to do speaking. So I started to look for other people who were doing it full time. And I remembered the guy's name from high school. And I reached out to him on Facebook and was like, hey, when I was in high school, you came and spoke to me. It looks like you're still speaking. This must be really working out. What are you doing? And he had like a system that he taught about, like how he got speaking engagements. And they were one-off speaking engagements, but it was fine. So I took that, and it was like, yeah, you can get these engagements, and they're typically around like $2,000 to $3,000. And this is what I do. And I was like, see, I was at a different place in my life. Some of you are listening to this and you're like, yes, $2,000 to $3,000, bag it. Let me get that. I was at a different place in my life though, right? Because when I left my corporate job, I was already at $300K. So I couldn't leave on the $2,000 to $3,000 thing. It was like, that's cute. That ain't gonna cut it though. So I was in search of a system that would show me how to land these 5- and 6-figure engagements. And what I found was the same clients that would pay those $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 would also pay $50,000. The problem was I wasn't asking them to pay $50,000+. I was asking them to pay $2,000 to $3,000 because that was what was out there in the marketplace for speakers. It was like, when you start, make sure you only charge these little bits of money. And the reason why I talk so much about starting at the top of the speaking market versus working your way up from the bottom is that I have found, and let me know if you've seen this in the market. If I'm speaking your language, just drop a yes in the comments. What I have found is this. When someone has limited understanding about how an industry works, or when someone plays, this is more appropriate, when someone plays in a particular part of the industry, they know how to do one specific thing. They teach that one specific thing, regardless of whether there are other things that may or may not work for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just what it is. So the people that I were listening to were very familiar with one specific way to build a business as a speaker. And so it was on me to go out and discover how I wanted to build a business as a speaker. And so a lot of what I teach, and a lot of the women and the men that I train and I coach, they are not enticed by small engagements because they're like me. They already have an expertise. They have families they have to feed. They can't start at the bottom and work their way up. So I give them the scripts and the templates and all of that stuff to find higher paying clients and higher paying engagements. But there's one issue. There's one issue, because I'll give it to you. Like, I have the Academy gives all of that. Registration's closed. Today's the last day to register for that. So essentially registration for the Academy is closed. If you haven't gone through the process and done all that, that's closed. However, even though I can give people scripts, swipe, copy, all that type of stuff, show them my system for landing 5- and 6-figure corporate speaking clients and how my clients have been able to do the same, there's one issue. And you got to deal with this issue before I teach you all the other stuff. Okay. And I'm going to tell you where we can still work together for you to learn all the other stuff. But everyone listening to this right now, lean in, because we're going to talk about the issue that even if I were to give it to you today, 85% of people listening would not implement the information that I would provide. And here's why: they are inconsistent. They are inconsistent. And before you leave, because you're like, everyone talks about consistency, I already know that I need to get it together. I just haven't done it yet. I'm going to tell you why you're inconsistent. I'm going to tell you why that may be a struggle of yours. I'm going to tell you why that may be an issue that you've dealt with. And I've dealt with it. I've dealt with it. And so I'm not saying it from a perspective of like, y'all inconsistent, y'all bad, y'all going to be, whatever. No. Let me be very clear. Because this is the piece of inconsistency that people miss. This is the key to unlocking consistency in your life. Here's the key. Now I'm gonna tell you the key. All right, y'all ready for the key? Drop key in the comments, okay? If you're ready for the key, drop key in the comments. Because there's one key, but there's 3 things that you have to understand about yourself and analyze within yourself if you really want to be consistent, okay? And this is going to be good. So I would share it with your friends, share people, tag people, give me some hearts on Facebook, because we're going to get into this today. And this is the last day you're going to deal with this because, okay, let me just get into it because y'all know I can go off on a tangent. The key to unlocking consistency in your life is your belief system. And I'm going to break that down further into 3 parts. All right. If you are not consistent, it is for there are one of 3 faulty belief patterns that you need to address. There are one of 3 faulty belief patterns that you need to address: belief in yourself, belief in your actions, belief in your ability to handle the success that the actions would provide. Let me break that down. Belief in yourself, belief in yourself. You may be the type of person that looks at everybody else, that supports everybody else, that sees people who started here and they've grown. Go back and look at my Instagram. Look at my Instagram 2 years ago and see how we started versus how we are now. Go back on Facebook and look at the videos that I used to produce in the very beginning of my career versus the videos that I produce now. The content was good, but look at the lighting. The lighting has gotten better. Look at the video quality. The video quality has gotten better. So look at all of these things, and I want you to see growth. I want you to look at the growth. And I want you to look at that because if there is anyone that you want to listen to, they should be able to demonstrate growth in their life. But here's the thing. The first belief system, and somebody write this in the comments for me, that we're gonna work on is belief in yourself. If you do not believe with everything in your being that you yourself can accomplish anything, or at least ultimate goal that you have in your mind, you will not move. If you don't believe that you can accomplish the ultimate goal that you have in your mind, you will not move. And guess how I know if you really think you can accomplish anything? You really think you can accomplish what you set out to accomplish? Your actions will show me. So over the past, if you tell me right now, and I'm going to prove this concept to you very tangibly, and this is a part of why I teach on my signature speech in the marketplace when I go into corporations and colleges all around the world, from pharmaceutical companies to some of the largest state institutions in this country, in the United States, I am teaching on the currency of confidence, right? And my friend Audrey was like, you need to do something for entrepreneurs on the currency of confidence, because they need to bring it to the level of all the people that you serve in that space. And we're working on that. But belief in yourself is the first step. Here's how I'm going to prove this to you. If you tell me today, drop one goal you have in the comments, anything, it could be anything. Drop one goal that you have in the comments, one goal that you have in the comments. Okay. And I'm going to use an example. I'm going to make it personal for me. One goal that I have, it has nothing to do with speaking, but my one goal was to get back to my pre-baby weight after having Christelle. And she's a year, right? So it's been about a year. And I think I was within 10 pounds. So that was my big goal. Now, I'm gonna be so real with you guys. Here's how you know whether I have enough belief in myself, right? To reach that goal. So one of the things that you have to ask yourself, you have this big goal. Here's the question you need to ask yourself to see whether you believe in yourself. enough to reach the goal? Here's what you're going to ask yourself. I have one: speak to multinational corporations in Egypt. Perfect example. Here's what we're going to say. Here's the question you have to ask yourself. I'm going to tell you guys the question. The question is, what have I done over the last 30 days to achieve that goal? Just look back 30 days. What have I done over the last 30 days to achieve that goal, right? And if there were a belief like thermometer, right? Like you believe in yourself 100%, you believe in yourself 0%. I'm gonna see if I can show you all this. So let's say over here, you believe in yourself 0%. You don't believe at all. You don't think you'll achieve it at all. You don't believe in yourself. And then you have 100%. Like just follow me on this. Let's see if it'll let you see. So you see what I'm saying? We're gonna go 0 to 100. Here's what I've done over the last 30 days to achieve my goal. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting myself on blast, right? I ride the Peloton bike between 1 and 3 times a week. 1 and 3 times a week. So I would say like that's like here, right? I'm doing something to achieve that goal. We eat healthy, I would say 4 out of 7 days a week. Like 4 out of 7 days a week, we're like 100% healthy. But then every now and then we may go to Jamba Juice or do something crazy, right? So we'll give yourself like a little bit there, right? But look, so let's say I'm like here on this thing. You think about what you're doing to achieve the goal. So for all of you who are thinking about this big goal, we're going to break down this mindset right now. We're going to break it down. You have this big goal over here. You're on the thermometer. How hot is it? How hot is your belief? How much do you believe in yourself? You can tell by your actions, not by what you say. What you say, here's what happens. If you say you have a goal, you say you want to do something, but yet you never put the action behind it, what you are doing is you're actively lying to yourself. And so your subconscious mind is like, she ain't gonna do nothing. So now you lack motivation even more to do the thing. Does this make sense? So for those of you who are like, okay, cool, I want to speak to multinational corporations in Egypt. Here's how I would evaluate that. Okay, we're gonna bring it back. You want to speak to companies, right? Okay, and you want them to be in Egypt. You should know how many multinational companies exist in Egypt. You should have that list, okay? And then you want to pitch every single last one of them, or at least a significant enough number to get traction. So if you want to know how much you believe in yourself to achieve that particular goal, you're going to look at what you have done over the past 30 days to achieve that goal. And that's your thermometer. That's how hot you are. That's how hot you are. All of us have goals that we're not 100% on. I would just say all. I mean, I hate to say all because you never know. Like there could be someone who's like, I give 100% to everything. I don't. There are things that I believe in myself more about than others. The trick is there are some things that are so critical to your future, to your purpose, to your ability to provide for your family, that you have to go 100%. You have to go 100%, right? And so what I want you to ask yourself, the first thing that we're going to do, how much do you believe in yourself? If you falter with consistency, it is for one of 3 belief systems. 1, you don't believe in yourself enough to accomplish that goal. It's not wholesale. This doesn't mean you don't believe in yourself to anything, because guess what? I wake up every morning, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I take a shower, I spend time with my daughter. I try to do 3 things: pray, do the Peloton, and what were we doing? Pray, Peloton, and proofreading my book, the Speak Your Way to Cash book that's coming out soon. So those are the 3 things that I try to do every morning. I don't do them every morning. Some mornings I do, some mornings I don't. But there is a belief system there that is going to drive me to do all of those things. I wake up every morning and I take a shower every day because I know, 1, I have no problem doing that. That's easy to do. 2, I believe in the benefits of showering. Okay. And so the action ultimately follows that belief system. And then 3, there's nothing really prohibiting me from doing it. So it's easy to do. The harder something is to do, the more you need to have belief. Okay. So I'm just telling you guys these things because I always hear people are always like, oh, you need to be consistent. But why aren't we consistent? Belief. Belief unlocks everything. If you can fix your belief, you can fix everything. You can have anything. So number 1 is belief in yourself. How much do you believe in yourself? And you're looking at your actions to determine your belief in yourself. Okay? That's one, right? Second thing we're going to go into, and if this is good, if this is making sense, just drop good in the comments. Number 2, belief in your actions. Belief in your actions. Now, how do you have a strong belief in your actions? Will you speaking, because a lot of you are speakers on here today. If you believe in the actions you are supposed to take, you are more likely to take the action, right? So if I give you a script and I'm like, okay, this is all you need. This is what you need to do. You need to reach out. I'll give you one right now. This isn't hard stuff. If you want to talk to corporations, more than likely you can reach out to either the head of individual departments there, if you're targeting a department, or the head of human resources. Let's say you just start with director of human resources. You get a list of all the directors of human resources in your individual target. You reach out to them and say, hey, name, I am the founder of the blank method. I help companies to blank with their employees. We have seen incredible results with this method, but I don't want to bore you with the details. Do you have time to chat next week about X, Y, and Z, about how I can help your employees do blah, blah, blah? No pressure. If not, just wanted to share this with you. And regardless, let me give you this insert really valuable thing here that I wrote that you may find interesting. Hope to keep connecting with you in the future. All right, cool. You send that out. You send it out to like 5,000. 5,000 is a lot. You send it out to 500 people. You see who responds, who opens the email. You have like different subject lines, all that stuff. It's easy. You send it out. But then what if they say, yeah, okay, I'll talk to you next week. If you don't know what to say on the call, now you're like, oh crap, I didn't got one, but I have no clue how to take the next step. So number 2 is belief in your actions. You have to believe that the action that people are telling you to be consistent in, so pitching, you have to believe that action actually works. You have to believe that you know the script to say, and you need to have some sense that like this thing that people are telling me to do is going to work. If you lack belief in actions, typically it's because you're not clear on any number of things. So for a speaker, you want to be clear on who you're going to pitch. You want to be clear on what you're going to pitch them. You want to be clear on how you're going to lead them through the sales process. So you send them an email, they book a call. When they book a call, what do you say on the call? After the call, how do you follow up? And in between all of that, how do you get them to sign a contract? And then even more so, after they sign the contract, how do you get the money in your bank account? Like, how do corporations pay people? How much can they pay people? Is your bank set up to handle that? There's all of these individual questions that if you're not clear on, it's very possible that you don't do the initial step because you're like, I may know step 1, but I'm not too sure about it. And then I'm also not sure about all the other steps that come after it. And so instead of being like, okay, let me get clear on each of the individual steps, you don't take any action at all because you're like, this is overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed. I'm confused. And when I'm confused, I can't act, think, or make decisions clearly. When you are confused, you can't act, think, or make decisions clearly. How do you get clear on the actions? Well, typically you hire a coach, someone who's done it before, who can just give you all the actions to take. For speakers, there's no better person to help you with that than me. Just, saying, right? I believe in what I teach. So there's that. So I can help you get clear on the actions, but there's something else that could happen. Let's say you get clear on the actions. You're like, okay, Ashley, how do we do that? Come to Speak Your Way to Cash Live in November. That's the easiest way to do it because we go through all these steps, these processes, and these mindset blocks that are keeping you from doing stuff. So you can get clear on the actions that way. Make sure you have a good product. Make sure you're a great speaker. Make sure you know who to target. We do all that at Speak Your Way to Cash Live and in some other programs and courses I have. Just DM me if you're curious. So believe in your actions. Believe in your actions. And you can, if you're on Instagram, you could text the number in my bio and it'll send you like a free webinar on landing 5 or 6 figure engagements and it'll go deeper into our process. So there, you can have belief in your actions. Belief in your actions. That's one thing. You need to have belief in your actions. So because a lot of people will say, you're not clear. You're not consistent, but they won't say why necessarily. So if you don't know why you're not consistent, you just feel bad. They're just like, you're not consistent. And you're like, oh my God, I'm lazy. And you're not lazy. I made a post that was like, you're not lazy. You're paralyzed by too much information. And it was inspired by something that Grant Cardone said. And it's so true. You need to have one person that you trust. You trust their results. you trust the results they've gotten from your clients, and you stick with that person's advice. You ride it till the wheels fall off. Everything they got, you listen to. Everything they have, you buy. And you follow the process to a T. You got questions, you ask them the questions. Stick to it, because guess what? Even if I am wrong, when I am consistent, I will receive the fruits of my labor. Now, the fruits I receive may not be as big as they could be if I had better information, but I will have fruits of my labor. Okay. So that's that on that. That's number one, belief in your actions. And number three is belief in your ability to handle the successful result of your actions. This is when people say, you're scared of success. They're like, oh, you're scared of success. Really? I don't know if it's necessarily the success. I'm not scared of getting $2 million in my account. That don't scare me at all. I know exactly what to do with it. I'm ready for that, right? Like if someone were like, yeah, we have a $2 million contract. We need you to do X, Y, and Z. I'd be like, awesome, cool. We gonna handle that. No problem. Here's what we're going to do first, second, and third. I'm not scared of getting the money in my account. Most of you aren't scared of the result you want. Like you want peace, freedom, time with family. You want money in the bank. You want to be able to go out to dinner wherever you want to go and not even look at the menu prices, just order off the menu. Like I remember when I was younger, I would look at the menu price and I would look at the item and then I would like deduce, like based on this menu price, which of these items do I really want to get? I don't do that anymore. I don't even think about that. Like I just don't. And it's such a freedom. And me and my husband were talking about it. And we were like, dang, how cool is it that we can go to the grocery store, get whatever we want for groceries and not have to worry about the cost of the bill, or we can go out to eat wherever we want to eat in the world and not have to worry about, oh my God, what is this going to cost? Or can we go there? It's so expensive. But there was a time where I did. I'm saying that now I'm not doing that as a result of consistency. But before I could be consistent, I had to realize what are the things that are holding me back from being consistent. This third one is really powerful. So I want you to lean in for me in a minute. Is belief in your ability to handle the successful result of your actions, but not the money. The result of your actions is going to be the next step in your sales process. So if I send out pitches, they're going to want to do a call. If I don't believe I can do a sales call appropriately, powerfully, correctly, I'm scared to send the email. If I send the email and I'm confident in that, but then I get on a sales call and I'm kind of confident in that. We have scripts for that, by the way. Okay, so you got a script. So now you're confident in the call. But then they're like, yeah, I want to move forward. Now you got to be confident in your ability to deliver the result. Are you confident in your ability to deliver the result? If you're not, a lot of people would say, oh, well, if you're not confident in your ability to deliver the result, you shouldn't sell anything. You need to go and get more classes. You need to go and get more courses. My opinion is you need to make sure that whatever you're selling, you're innately good at. Most people sell the wrong thing, not because they don't have an expertise, but because they think the thing that they're great at, there's no room for it in the market. So you may be someone that's a really nice person. You're calm. Anytime someone speaks to you, they have a calm demeanor. You're not an intense person. You're not like me. Like I'm an intense person. People meet me, they either love it or they hate it. Like that's what it is. But I'm cool with that because I know who I am, right? I'm not selling like that's not me. You know what I mean? But there's some of you that are very calm. You're very peaceful. When people meet you, they feel like butterflies and lilies and all that other stuff. Everyone isn't like that. If you ask 100 people in your life, what 3 words come to mind when they think of you? And they're like, oh, you're very peaceful. You're a problem solver. You're authentic. That's your product. Your product will be what you are innately good at, what people think of when they think of you. If you do not feel confident in your ability to sell a product, it's probably because there's misalignment. So you're selling something that isn't unique to you, right? You want to sell something that's unique to you. And a lot of people have made this mistake. I have made this mistake. Okay. Now, after we know I'm nice, I'm kind, I'm a kind person, I'm able to see people for who they are and not judge them. I'm able to validate people regardless of their background. If that is who you are at your core, then all we need to do is put a framework around who you are. Soft skills sell every day of the week. Why do I teach on the currency of confidence? Because I'm confident. One of my friends was like, if you bottle that up, if you bottle up your confidence, man, that would sell. That's what I do. I bottle that up. right? I sell it to organizations around the world because confident employees close more deals. They are not afraid to give you their opinions on how to make the company better. And it doesn't matter if they're junior or not. You need every single one of your people in your organization to be confident. I teach how to develop and grow that confidence and how managers can transfer confidence to their employees. It's powerful stuff, but it's confidence. It's a soft skill. It's intangible. We make it tangible by putting it into webinars or licensed products and all of that. But for a lot of you, you're sitting at home like, man, I got to figure out, what am I going to teach these people? What am I going to sell these people? What are you uniquely good at? Because that's what we're going to package up. Now, how to develop a framework, that is what we teach. That's why you have coaches that know what they're doing in this stuff, because they can help you to teach that. But if there is a misalignment, you're not scared of the money. You're not scared of the results. You're not scared of taking vacations. No one's scared of that. That's why when I would hear like, you're scared of success, I'd be like, what are they talking about? Ain't nobody scared of success. No. You may not be scared of the end result, the bank account balance, all of that stuff. But what you may be fearful of, or what you may be apprehensive of, is if I do all these steps and people start coming to me to provide a product or a service, what if that underlying product or service does not wow them, does not get them results? That is a legitimate concern. So you need to work with someone that won't just teach you how to sell stuff, right? As a speaker, how do you sell stuff? No. How is your underlying product so good that companies around the world will be vying to buy it again and again and again? And that comes down to the title of your framework, what's included within your framework, and the ways in which you package up that framework to sell it to companies around the world, okay? So I just wanted to the reason I did this video, because a lot of you think I'm not consistent. Oh my gosh, I'm lazy. No, you may be confused, but you're not necessarily lazy. Now, I don't know you personally. Maybe you are lazy. Now, if you know you're lazy, then just sign off. This can't help you, right? I can't help you if you're lazy. I don't really deal with that. But if you're not lazy, right? If you are someone who's like, I don't mind working hard. I've been paralyzed because I don't believe in myself. I don't know whether the actions I'm doing are the right ones, are the wrong ones. I don't know who to listen to. And then even if I did pitch someone, if they said yes, I wouldn't have a process or a framework to get them all the way to the finish line. I don't even got a contract for clients. Like, if that's you, then I can help confidently. I can help you. You, the person I'm just talking about, you should be at Speak Your Way to Cash Live. Now, I don't know whether, and really you should come regardless of whether you think speaking is going to be a part of your business model or not. We've had people who came who don't speak. They use all the content and they end up going out and getting press and selling their underlying services to corporations, even outside of speaking. So we do speaking consulting. It's really about packaging your expertise in a medium that companies are confident and comfortable buying. And then how do you sell that over and over and over again? And it helps with diversification. So we have a business model that sells to consumers. And then we have a business model that also sells directly to companies. And diversification is good, especially during COVID. So I got a question. If you all have any questions. One question I got was, I'd love to know more about the roadmap to getting consistent paid speaking events when starting from scratch. Okay, awesome. So when starting from scratch, number one thing you have to do to get consistent speaking engagements is you have to consistently invite people to work with you. That's number one. So if you're like, Ashley, I want to make $1 million, I'm like, bet. That's not the problem. I don't even need to know that you have a goal of making $1 million. I need to know how many contracts did you pitch last week? That's what I want to know. What is the value of your outstanding contracts? Like last week, we have I think it's $124,000 of contracts outstanding, meaning we have pitched those people and they're in the limbo phase of whether or not they're going to sign their contract, $124,000. And that was over the course of a week, right? So if that is the case, the amount of money that you pitch has to be correlated to your revenue goals. You're not going to get every contract that you pitch. That's not how it works. So you can't do that. So you have to consistently invite people to work with you. In order to do that, so starting from scratch, here's what you need to know. One, your topic. What are you going to speak about that people also care about? What are other speakers speaking about that people also care about? You need to look at what other people are speaking about, not to copy them, because it doesn't really matter what they do in that regard, but to find out what language your market is comfortable buying. If you want to speak, like some people do stuff and it's so elusive. It's like they have these names, but no one knows what the name means. Only they know what the name means. I speak on this new framework that no one's ever heard of. It's like, yeah, but like no one's Googling for that. What are people Googling for? If they wanted to find you, what are they Googling for? If you want to talk about kindness, that's cool. Are there other kindness speakers? Because if so, that may work. But what are they Googling for? They may be Googling for communication help. They may be Googling for interpersonal relations. They may be Googling for handling conflict at work. They may be Googling for empathy at work. They may be like, what are they searching, right? That's how you're going to come up with your topic. Then you need to come up with your target. Who are the people you're going to pitch to? And this is what I mean by that. Of the companies you're targeting, what size is the company? Of the colleges you're targeting, are they private? Are they public? What departments do they have? What programs do they have there? What's the job title of the person you want to pitch there? So you come up with your topic, you come up with your target, and you make sure there's a fit. What I mean by fit is you should not be selling to people who've never hired speakers. I don't think that quite makes sense. I'm not, like, my job is never to work too hard, right? So I'm not trying to sell you on hiring speakers, bringing me in. I got to tell you, oh, well, when you hire a speaker, this is typically how it works. No. I need to know that you are a savvy consumer, but that's just my market. I don't work, like, even with consumers. Most of our law firm clients have hired lawyers before. It just didn't work out. Like, the other lawyer just wasn't as competent as they needed in the skill set that they need. Like, they aren't foreign to lawyers. They're not like, I don't know what a lawyer is. What is a lawyer? You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't sell to those kind of people. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that work, that heavy lifting of telling you what a lawyer is. Like, no, I may educate you on what a lawyer can do for you, but you need to be bought in on the concept of, like, a lawyer is a person that handles the legal affairs in your business. Similar with speaking. I don't want to sell you on the concept of a speaker coming into your organization and providing value. Typically, you've hired speakers and consultants in the past. You know that they have value. You know that you have to pay them for their expertise. You know that they don't speak for free. I'm selling you on my framework and how I, in particular, can help you. So that's what I mean by a topic, target, fit. There has to be a fit between your topic, who you're trying to sell to, and their understanding of what it is that your industry does. Otherwise, you run into, well, I get people all the time that ask me to speak, but they don't have a budget. I don't get people all the time asking me to speak that don't have a budget. In fact, there was a police union that reached out to me, and they wanted me to do something for a keynote. And I told them it was going to be $20,000. And they were like, oh my goodness, that was what we feared. We kind of knew you were going to be really expensive. Let's work you into the budget for the following year. And I was like, oh, I didn't get the engagement, but I love their email back, because what it tells me is what I am putting out is accurate to the marketplace. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't come thinking like, oh girl, it was going to be $1. You know what I mean? Like, that would be horrible. If they would have come back like, whoa, I can't believe it's this much. This is crazy. I thought it'd be $500 to bring you in. Then I'm not doing a good job. So those are the things that you want to do. Now, here's what else you want to do. And let me see if I can even do this, because I have so much stuff on my screen. I want you to make a commitment. The belief system that you need to have. Here's the other thing that changed for me dramatically when I started making, the first time I replaced my corporate income with my business. The first time I replaced my corporate income with my business, it wasn't just a mindset shift about belief in myself. It was a mindset shift about how I was able to invest. So because I believed in myself, I was able to invest in a manner that showed, because it was like people's stuff was expensive. So there was a point in time in my business where my investments would be really, really small. I'd be like, all right, she wants $500. I'm gonna give her $500. Like, whatever, it's $500. I'm gonna give her that. And I would do that because it's like, all right, this isn't a huge risk. If it doesn't work, no sweat off my back. But once I decided, no, I'm all in, I started going to the coaches and the consultants and the people who I knew how to help me, because they helped themselves and others get to where I wanted to be. And those price tags were always tens of thousands of dollars, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And I was comfortable making those investments because I knew I believed in myself. I believed in the actions that they were teaching me. And so I was able to take the action I needed to take, which was investing to get to the next level. Now, am I going to ask y'all to give me 10 grand a day? No, not today. Not today. But what I am going to say is come to Speak Your Way to Cash Live 2021. It is a hybrid virtual experience. It is the easiest and probably the most affordable way that you can work with me for 3 days. I think it's like 6 hours or so per day. So we're going to spend upwards of 15 to 18 hours together, which is not cheap, right? If you do a VIP day with me, it's $25,000. You're going to spend 18 hours with me at this event over the course of 3 days, and it's hybrid, meaning that you can do it 100% virtual from the comfort of your home. We have people who attend from all over the world. We're anticipating and we're planning to serve 250 speakers, thought leaders, experts, entrepreneurs, and folks in corporate who want to level up their presentation skills and their confidence and their belief systems about themselves. So I want you to attend this event, and I want you to buy your ticket today, and I'm going to tell you why I want you to do that. If you buy your ticket today, what I am going to do for you is give you an early bird ticket to our prospecting party. Most of you on here have questions about who to pitch, how do I pitch them, where do you find them, where do you find their email, what tech do you use, how do you automate this, and how are you pitching hundreds of people a week without literally being at a computer all day, every day? And the answer is not team. I know a lot of people say, oh, I have a team that does that. I have team members, but the truth is I try to use technology as much as possible so that in the event I have to do it alone or I have to do it on a shoestring team, I'm able to do that. And that's just a business decision that I think everyone needs to make. Teams are great. If for whatever reason your team is not available or not able to deliver, how will your business still run? We rely on technology for that. Okay. So I want you to believe in yourself enough to attend Speak Your Way to Cash Live. And here's what I'll say. If you attend all 3 days, you get all the information that we give, and you at the end of the event feel like you didn't learn a single thing new, I will give you your money back. Tell me in earnest, and I'm gonna make you sign a contract to say it. And I'm gonna ask you what you've done with the information, so don't be lying, right? You need to be at this event, okay? You need to be at this event. So the prospecting party is really where we're going to answer the questions. What's the first step to take after you decide who your audience is? What tech do you use to find decision makers? How do you pitch them? What tech do you use for that? How do you draft your sales emails to prospects from scratch? How do you know your pitch is good? And so much more. And what I'm going to do is start a corporate selling campaign live during our pre-event prospecting party. This party will be before the event. So you have to register at the early bird rate. So literally what I'm saying is, come to the event. If you do the virtual ticket right now, early bird, it's $957 if you pay in full. If you want to do the VIP in-person experience, it's $2,500 for the 3 days. And you get breakfast each day that you're there. So if you want to come kick it with me in person, that's fine. We have all the COVID protocols. We're only taking 50 people live, and the venue sees more than 150 people. Everyone will be spread out. We'll have on-site COVID testing. We're not playing with safety at all. I have a baby. I don't play about that. And I'm fully vaccinated. And I believe everyone should be fully vaccinated if you're planning to travel per CDC guidelines. I know y'all got other theories, but I got to go with science on this one. So that's what I believe. Now, if you decide to come in person, there'll be, masking and distancing and all of that when we're not eating and drinking and all that fun stuff. But you can do that for $2,500. Either way. And we have payment plans too for you available. And if you want to do a payment plan, but like the payments on here are a little bit too much for you to do, let me know. And we may have another payment plan option for you to do a lower down payment and pay on it for the rest of the time before the event. Here's the truth about this event. It is not our first one. We've done it this will be our 6th one. We've done it 5 other times. And on the sales page, if you go to speakyourwaytocash.com/event, you can actually see comments from last year's event. It was crazy good. This is so good. Mind blown. This is absolute gold. That's a TED Talk. Yes, it's been amazing. Great hot seat. Okay, you're going to see something called hot seats in the reviews. This is what I do. Whether you're virtual or you're in person, and let me be very clear about virtual. I do not mean we're going to have this little bitty webcam and you will be able to see stuff, but you won't be able to see everything. You won't be able to ask questions. You won't be able to, no. Our virtual has its own AV team, its own volunteers. Your questions will be able to be answered in the time that we have allotted. And we're going to call people who are virtual to do hot seats as well. We're going to bring you on stage. Okay. And so I think 100%, if you are interested in attending a virtual experience, then do that. Last year it was 100% virtual and people had an incredible time. It was our best event yet, even better than when we did it in person. So this year we're going to do both and make sure we have the team to make sure it's great. I got a question here, Ashley. I am currently working on writing and publishing my book. Yes, congrats. I'm currently in a program teaching me how to do that. I know speaking is my next goal. Should I attend now or wait until my book is done? You should attend now. 100% you should attend now. And I'll tell you why. I don't know how far you are from finishing your book, but here's what I will say. What we teach you is literal stuff. You may end up writing another book through the program. Most of our people write a book and they include the framework that we develop out while working. Like they include the Speak Your Way to Cash methods that we teach in their books to get the most bang for your buck. You don't need a book though, to be honest. My corporate engagements, I don't sell them a book. And my college clients, I have a book called The Law School Hustle. I've sold them that, even though it was really geared towards law school. All that to say, I've never had a client say, we would have you come speak, but like, the book is not really in alignment, blah, blah, blah. No, the way that we'll teach you how to sell this and set up your framework and your sales systems and all that stuff will be utilizing what you have. So you 100% want to come, because here's the thing, the book is great. But the book typically isn't the thing. Selling the book alone is not the thing that gets you to 7 figures. It's not the thing that gets you to multi-6 figures. It's leveraging that asset. And it could be a book, it could be a webinar, it could be a TEDx talk to get clients. And that's what we talk about. So 100% do not wait. Plus, guys, last year the event sold out more than 30 days in advance. So get your ticket now. If you buy early bird, you get to attend the pre-event prospecting party. If you wait till later, you can't attend that. So I say get your ticket today so that it doesn't sell out, so that you're able to attend the bonus pre-event prospecting party and you learn how to leverage the assets that you have. If you don't have a book, it's still a very valuable event for you to attend. That's not a requirement at all. Okay. So I don't even sell books to corporate. So it's not a requirement at all. The goal here, the thing you have to learn how to do to be a successful entrepreneur is how to sell. You have to learn how to sell. You have to learn how to package. You have to learn how to realize the dreams of your clients. If you don't know that, you can't sell. People ask all the time, how are you able to sell people into these programs? And they cost, we have clients on retainers with us, $180,000 per year. It's not me selling them like, please do this thing, hurry up. If you don't work with me, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't do that. What I tell you, and this is what I'm going to tell all of you all who are on here today. If you are watching this and you want to land 5- and 6-figure corporate speaking contracts, I'm the person to teach you that. How do you know I'm the person to teach you that? 1, I've done it for myself. 2, I've done it for others. 3, we have a system that's repeatable that you can implement. It's not something that I'm thinking of on the fly. You know what I mean? And we have a depth of knowledge that few people have. 1, because I've done it, right? But 2, I'm a lawyer. So not only am I thinking about your speaking career from the perspective of selling a speaking thing, but I'm like, okay, how do you license this? What is the contract that backs up the licensing? How do you put, because it's all about language. One of the workshops we're doing is a language lab. So giving you the exact phrases that have helped me to move sales deals forward, the exact answers to questions that your prospects are going to ask you that you're worried about them asking you, because one of them may be something like, can you give us referrals from all your previous clients? Like, can we call all of them? And I've done it once. Like, I've let a client call another client and it was fine. And it was okay. But at the end of the day, 95% of the clients that we have, 100% of the clients that we have closed and 95% of the clients that we have dealt with have never asked that question. But if they do, and you're like, I don't really have anyone I feel comfortable with them speaking to, etc., there's a way to answer that objection that we're going to go through and talk about. What you need is not more general information. You need the language that will help you to move your sales calls forward, that will help you to move your sales prospects into contracts that are signed and that are paid upon. You need language and you need clarity. and you need confidence. Those are the things that we are going to be talking about at Speak Your Way to Cash Live. How do you write the proposal? What's stopping you from writing the proposal? What's keeping you from doing that? And if you attend the VIP virtual, we're thinking of doing like a pajama panel or something super dope and exclusive for you guys as well. But either way, whether you do the virtual ticket or the in-person ticket, it will be the best money ever spent. We've never had anyone request a refund. And the average rating of our events is like a 9.9. We've done it. We've done it. So here's the thing. You want to come kick it with me for 3 days. I think it'll be great. Whether it's virtual or in person, we're making sure the experience is incredible. I'm so anal about this stuff, so you don't have to worry about it being good. The in-person is in Illinois. So you'll fly into Chicago O'Hare, and we'll get you all the details for where to go and how to coordinate all of that. But we've thought of every detail in terms of how to make the virtual experience incredible. We're going to have breakout rooms. You all will connect with each other. You'll network with one another. People last year, it was 100% virtual, left with book clubs, in-person connections and friends. There are people to this day that are besties because they met at Speak Your Way to Cash Live. We call ourselves a Speak Your Way to Cash fam for a reason. There's something unique about us, like virtual or in person. We send out amazing, and this is our box from last year. Our people call this the Get Into the Money box, but we send out boxes to make sure you have everything you need. We print out these amazing journals and workbooks, and the folks who attend will be some of the first people to hold in their hands the Speak Your Way to Cash book that we're releasing. So before we release it to everyone else, those who attend the event will get that. That book is about to be crazy. It is crazy. I'm doing my final edits. Anyone who's writing a book knows how that is. It's like, it's the worst part to me. But it's going to be great. So go over to Speak Your Way to Cash Live or speakyourwaytocash.com/event. Normally I have it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Let me see if I can do that really quick. But yeah, go over to speakyourwaytocash.com/event and get your tickets. Okay. You want to get your tickets for that. And then you want to attend the live prospecting party. The prospecting party, watching me prospect live and write sales emails live, is literally worth the cost of the event. And here's the truth. If you learn one thing, you can make your money back. You implement one portion of what we teach and you can make your money back. So to recap, consistency is amazing. You unlock the power of consistency through belief. If you find yourself not being consistent, it is typically because of one or two things. You lack a belief in your ability to achieve your big goal, your end goal. Whatever that may be. You want to make 7 figures in business. You want to make 6 figures in business. You want to impact 500 people. You want to have 20 new corporate clients by the end of the year. If you're not moving towards that goal, if you can't affirmatively answer what you've done over the past 30 days to reach that goal, then typically it's a lack of belief in yourself. 2, it could be a lack of belief in your actions. So you're ready to do it, but you don't know what to do. This lack of belief in your actions can be solved by working with a competent coach, such as myself. Okay. So that belief can be, if you know what to do, you know the actions, and you've dealt with the belief with yourself, you know the actions to take, and you're still not acting. So you've gotten some information, you know what to do, you have a good idea, then it's likely because you lack a belief in your ability to handle the successful result of your action. So you may know how to send the pitch, but you don't know how to do the sales script. You may know how to do the sales script, but you don't know how to do the next thing. So you just want to make sure that to bring it all together, if you want to be consistent, you got to start moving. Now, that being said, it is a faulty belief system that you have to know how to do every single step to get started. I personally believe it is better for you to take flawed action than inaction. So I'll just leave y'all with that. And I'm going to charge you guys with taking action today. Now, here's the thing. One piece of action that I want you to take today is to register for Speak Your Way to Cash Live. The next piece of action that I want you to take today is to go on LinkedIn and message one potential client and just say, hey, I would love to send you more information about how I do blank for blank. What's a good email for you? They may never respond, but you need to start taking some action. Okay, you need to start taking some action. And when you're reaching out cold, typically you're doing that in mass, and typically you're doing it with a gift. So ideally, you would go on LinkedIn, write a LinkedIn article like 5 steps to blank, 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 whatever the result is you provide for your clients. And then you can send that in your pitch. Like, hey, Sarah, I don't know if you saw my recent LinkedIn article. Here it is. It really walks through how I help blank to do blank and give some actionable tips you can take today. Do you mind if I email it to you? Or do you mind if I send it over? Ideally, you get their email, but do you mind if I send it over to you? You want to start with serving first. That's the other big principle of business. Serve first. Serve first. Give them value first. Like today, I've spent, I don't know how long with you guys, 54 minutes. This is long. I spent 54 minutes with you guys today explaining some mindset blockages that you all may have to doing action. Why? Because now I'm going to invite you to take the next step. If you enjoyed this 50 minutes, then you'll love Speak Your Way to Cash Live, where we spend 3 days together, get deep into mindset, deep into actionable content, and deep into what you need to be doing in order to grow your speaking consulting business and get your business in general, really. Because these are principles that you can apply far and wide. It's an incredible event. You will not regret it. And we've elevated the experience every single time. We've never, like each year, it gets better than the last year, no matter what we do. Like we'll be like, man, last year was incredible. We ain't never going to top that. And we top it. And we top it every single time. So it's our 6th event. Come play with people who've been doing this for a while. Go to speakyourwaytocash.com/event or click the link in my Instagram bio. If you're on Facebook, there should be a link here that you can click as well. Or if you're on YouTube, same thing. So thank you guys so much for rocking with me. Take that action today. I've given you an actionable thing to do. Register for the event. Send a pitch to a client. It can be imperfect. The goal is to send it to start building your confidence that if you send it and nothing happens, it's okay. You're still alive. You're building confidence to do it again and do it correctly and more effectively. And then number 3, if you want something else to do, you want more content, you're like, I'm about to register for the event, but I want to hear more from you right now. I want to start learning more. Go to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, listen to some other information as well. And do that. Hey, Reverend LaDonna. Reverend LaDonna says she came last year. She said, I'm looking forward to this one. Oh, yeah, it's going to be incredible. It is going to be incredible. And I'm excited to meet some of my VIPs. You should have gotten something in the mail from me, Reverend LaDonna. If you did not, then let me know. But yeah, super excited about this. It's going to be great. And I will talk to you guys later.